Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Alicia McMichael Show, and today we have two very special guests on our show, Miss Liandra McClennan and Maurice McClennan. And they, in fact, are active duty military, serving in the Army, and the wife of your husband who's serving in the Army. My name is Dr. Alicia McMichael, and I'm the founder and co-founder of the PTSD Foundation, where we offer educational techniques and how to break through PTSD. So today we have our celebrity couple on the show, and we're highlighting them as the role models for the entire military across the world, and in fact to our new presidential team, Team Trump. So today we're going to do a demonstration of a technique called Access Consciousness, co-founded and founded by Gary Douglas and Dane Heer, and the quickest and fastest movement in consciousness across the entire planet. So what we basically have are 32 energy fields around the head, and we're going to be doing a demo of how we can unlock all the unconsciousness of any situation, any experience, allowing the body to clear energetically. So how awesome is this? This technique, it's kind of similar to, if you all are familiar with Tony Robbins and neurolinguistic programming. So we literally can allow a simple system of your beautiful hands to allow energy to facilitate, to open and clear the energy system, also called the chakra system in Eastern medicine and Japanese philosophy. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin today. So just go ahead and place one hand on the back of his head, and then 3 fingers on the third eye, so right here. Okay, and then you go ahead and unlock your hands and unlock your feet. So what we're doing right now is we're basically allowing the energy to flow from your feet to your top of your head. And so everything is energy. So it's very simple. It's just using the hands. How awesome is that? And so one of the techniques in Access Consciousness, it's consciousness is everything without judgment. So we can allow all the energy of judgment and self-judgment and everywhere it's coming from around the world, we can return all the energy with consciousness and love. There's many different tools in Access Consciousness as far as like advanced techniques and how to like quantum leap, quantum jump. Some of you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's basically that this is the greatest time in human evolution where we have greater capacities than we could ever imagine. So in this technique called Access Bars, we are highlighting a breakthrough technique for how to, through our nonprofit, reduce the 22 suicides a day by demonstrating and educating on breakthrough techniques for PTSD, as well as how to shift our consciousness into a higher state of vibration by clearing out all of our old stories, our old programs, our experiences, and allowing us to become the energy of space. So let's go ahead and move to the next point. So go ahead and, Maurice, lift your hands up and join Liandra. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your middle finger inside his middle finger. Perfect, right there. That's it. So this is so dynamically easy. This technique not only is practiced all over the world in facilitating dynamic healing and like clearing like cancers out of people's bodies and like all these amazing ways to just like heal our bodies of things that aren't like actually what we're choosing. But in addition, it also facilitates dynamic opening of our receiving with money. So most of the world is functioning from trying to figure things out. So what if we could actually allow ourselves to energetically open up to like the spaciousness of dynamically receiving from everything, and allowing ourselves to stop figuring things out with the brain, but to access our infinite knowing within our spirit, within our heart. And so there's many different things that we can receive from the Access Bars tools. And also one of the techniques is to apply the Access Consciousness clearing statement. So it sounds like this, and it's basically like 5 pages of a mantra that is good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. So the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, it's not designed for you to understand, but it's designed for you to get out of your cognitive thinking. So it's literally saying, every time I've aligned and agreed with this interesting point of view, destroy and uncreate, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what we're doing is we're literally defragmenting our computer files and like taking things that don't work and putting them into the trash. Kind of like Apple, how they keep upgrading our systems. We're like upgrading our systems. And it's like, cool. Like, what about all the consciousness from like our ancestors? None of that works any longer because, as Eckhart Tolle says in the here and now, it's like to be present in this moment, we got to clear whatever doesn't work, right? And then become the spaciousness for what we'd like to receive. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the next point, and the rest of them are going to be located at the head. This one's called Implant Band. So you'll feel like right behind the occipital ridge, and you'll just apply 3 fingers as well on each side. Perfect. So the co-founders and founders of Access Consciousness, they actually use this touch point system for like 4 hours because they're like, hey, we're these psychic antennas picking up the collective consciousness of like pain and suffering and like all this stuff that's not even true. So yeah, it's really amazing today because for couples, like especially in marriage, you know, this technique can be something that can really allow people to help kind of get through their, you know, any type of like issues that might come up. Like, hey, let's run the bars instead of fighting, right? Like, how awesome is that?
That'd be great.
So the bars, it actually clears all the unconscious thoughts, feelings, emotions, stuff that sometimes we're picking up from like other people and the rest of the world. So every time we run the bars, we are clearing ourselves and freeing ourselves of things that we actually don't want to choose anymore. And then we can also, one of the tools is asking questions. So Tony Robbins, like neurolinguistic programming, talks a lot about the questions and like opening up to like more possibility. So you can ask like, hey, like what could be possible if we could have like more fun than we could ever imagine, if we could have more money than we could ever imagine. And then going back to like the nonprofit topic, like what if every soldier and their partner like around the world could like learn from you two right now in this like Access Bar session? Like, what would that be like? And what if we could stream this television episode across the entire world? So people could start running the bars. We could start facilitating dynamic healing for completely like wiping out the whole like suicide thing, because I don't think that's acceptable. So let's shift now into supreme empowerment as amazing leaders on this earth and destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. So as you can understand, what I'm sharing is a clearing statement. It's like, let's speak something into existence. And then the clearing statement is like destroy and uncreate all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything that doesn't allow us to have what we'd like to have. So would both of you like to share things that you'd like to open up to more of? And then I can give an example of how the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement would apply to that. Does anyone have any thoughts?
Definitely would like to open up to that financial part. You know,
okay.
Everybody, there's nothing wrong with more money. You know.
You can continue to. Oh, actually, we'll go to the next point. So the next one is money, control, creativity. So this one is going to be right here on the head.
Both sides?
Yes. Okay. And for all you viewers out there, accessconsciousness.com is the website where you can look up and find the access consciousness points on the head. So, okay. So let's do some work around finances. So you'd like to receive more money.
That's right.
Okay, so we can literally, everything's energy, right?
Right.
So we could pull the energy of money. So let's expand out and kind of like a meditation, like expand out to the size of Hawaii. Now expand out energetically to the size of the United States of America. And now expand out energetically to the size of planet Earth. 1, 2, 3, expand out. And expand out beyond that. And become the spaciousness of the entire planet and beyond. And let's receive from everything beyond that. And let's allow ourselves to open up to receive finances, money, wealth, abundance, prosperity from everything and everyone existing on the earth. And let's destroy and uncreate everywhere we've been aligning and agreeing with poverty consciousness, with scarcity, with struggle, through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Destroy and uncreate. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. 1, 2, 3, change. What's it going to take to be more financially abundant than we could ever imagine and beyond? What if the Great Depression no longer exists in this reality? So everywhere we've aligned and agreed with all the interesting point of views of the pain and suffering of our ancestors and all the lifetimes of things that haven't worked for us, can we now destroy and uncreate it all and set ourselves free into total financial prosperity with ease and grace? 1, 2, 3. Destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What else is possible? How does it get any easier than this? In what energy, space, and consciousness can we in our bodies be to allow ourselves to receive everything and judge nothing? How can we have luxurious vehicles with ease and grace? Like, what is it going to take? And what if there's no more unconscious people that are laying on the ground homeless? Like, what would that be like? If we could start loving one another and appreciating one another and realizing that we're all on this earth together, and we can start opening up doors to churches and accessing a different state of consciousness where there's more oneness on the earth, where everything is abundant, and we can experience not only finances and financial abundance and in things that we acquire like properties and stuff like that, but what if we can also acquire this abundance within everything existing on the planet? So how much appreciation can we be for Mother Earth, for everything existing on this island, the beauty of the island, all the elders, and how can we all begin to awaken ourselves truly to living on a planet where everyone is abundant and there's no such thing as poverty and scarcity? And can we destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow this to now show up with ease and grace? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So there's another point called peace and calm and gratitude. So it's kind of like if you have an elf ear. So you're going to take 3 fingers like a triangle and then just place it right there on the top of the ear on both sides. So also this point is called peace, calm, and gratitude. And one of the things in this reality is that when we become grateful for what we have, miracles happen. When we become grateful for each other, for everything that shows up in our lives, all of a sudden it starts to multiply. And we have more of that. So how much gratitude can all of us be today, and all of the viewers on this network around the world, in Hawaii, how much gratitude can we shift into in totality for everything that we have on this holiday season? All the things that we take for granted. Food, shelter, our connection to God, our connection to each other, our connection to life. And how can we begin to shift into complete gratitude and to contribute to those who don't have any of that? What's it going to take for us to be grateful, dynamic, conscious leaders on this earth? So I practiced this technique for about 7 years, and it facilitated a lot of dynamic change in my life, and I started experiencing powerful miracles all the time, because what happens is he's clearing anything that you let go of and clear. Any interesting point of view, thought, clears for 10,000 people on the earth. Anything that you're letting go of clears for you. And then anything that either of us are like letting go of it's clearing for us. And what it's happening is all the interesting point of views of this reality that aren't working, like we're releasing them and clearing them and then opening up to a different possibility. So the more consciousness that each of us step into ourselves, the more we choose for ourselves, the more we allow ourselves to have in our lives. Like imagine if we're all like so overflowing. Like imagine if we all have like car collections and like accounts at like super abundance of farms and gardens and foods, and we're like, hey, I got a bunch, let's go out and feed everybody. Imagine if we can get like all the military to go out and like transform the the streets of Waikiki, and what are the infinite possibilities? How much can we contribute to the planet as conscious leaders, as military soldiers, veterans, military wives, for this amazing country? Awesome. Would you like to receive another point on your head?
Sure.
Okay. So the next one is, it's called Joy Sadness. So you'll put 2 fingers here, and then bridging bar with the thumbs, and then 2 fingers on the outside of the head like that.
Like this.
Yeah, and these fingers just come down a little bit more. Perfect. Yep. So this is like something that people could use like every single day, every single week, however much time you have. Like you could do like, hey, let's do a 20-minute bars trade.
Yeah.
And every time you're giving him a session, you're also receiving a session. So it's kind of like the, in life, like what we talk about in Access Bars or Access Consciousness work is that we're so dynamic on this planet at giving that sometimes we create our own blocks to receiving. So this actually opens up our receiving dynamically. And it allows, like, every time you're giving, you're receiving at the same time. So it's like the infinity symbol of like a golden liquid energy, like what I've studied with like some of these like archangel teachings about around like angels. It's like the infinity symbol. So you can like send that out to like the entire world. Yeah, everything's possible. Like, I'm so excited to see you on tour with Jay-Z this year.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'm telling you. It'd be great. Continue to say that, put it out in the universe, and get it back.
Yeah, I just spoke on the phone with Andrea Nelson, the assistant to Beyonce, about inviting her to be on our board of directors for our campaign to reduce the 22 suicides a day for the military and veterans.
That'd be very effective if we can get someone like that a part of our group and create a greater cause like that. So, I'm telling you, it'll bring a lot of influence when you shed a light on it like that from people like in those positions, point of views. So, definitely.
So everything that doesn't allow Beyonce and Jay-Z to receive the invitation to join us in our powerful team for creating change on the planet at this time, we can destroy and uncreate. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So we're clearing all limitations. There's a screenwriter in UK named Dr. Jack, and he teaches a lot about when you clear and remove all the limitations, it shows up like magic. Like somehow, like this universal truth, it's like ask and you shall receive. And then in the Access Bars, it's like clear all the, anything that's in the way of that. And so how this technique Access Bars, how it works with PTSD is that it clears out any experiences of trauma energetically. So sometimes our bodies, we even hold on to weight. Like sometimes people might say, I'm like 20 pounds like heavier than I normally am. Getting the bars done, it actually helps people to lose the weight, like energetically. It just like erases off the body because we're literally holding on to sometimes like stored energy to kind of protect ourselves from like some experience that we've had. And so everyone has some type of PTSD in a sense, you know, some experience, like maybe you fell off a bike one day or, you know, divorce or, you know, for our nonprofit work, we speak into the trauma of soldiers and really taking an acknowledgement to those who have been of service to this country to provide educational tools. So what's it going to take for everyone on the planet to truly honor and respect our armed forces and our military for their contribution? Staying up 24 hours, like no one really knows unless you actually like are in the service, the amount of time that we contribute to keeping our children safe at night. So let's go ahead and move to the next point, and that one would be the circle of manifestation on the top of the head. It looks kind of like a hamaka. Perfect. So today we're doing a demo session, and so this point here, it's called the circle of manifestation. And you can read about it through accessconsciousness.com. And also, Access consciousness, it's offered by facilitators all over the world. And it's a trademarked modality from Gary Douglas and Dane Heer. And basically, when you take one class, in one day you become an access consciousness practitioner, and you can start doing sessions for people and people charge like $100 an hour. So you can start doing sessions, and then you could also take 3 classes with 3 different facilitators and start teaching the classes. And they say, we don't really teach anything, we're just facilitating energy. And everything's energy, right? Like Albert Einstein says, energy is everything. So all we're really doing is clearing away energy that doesn't work for us through clearing statements like return to senders with consciousness and love, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And allowing ourselves to open up to the infinite possibilities of this universe. What would it be like if we could all truly step into all of our dynamic gifts of who we are and more, allowing all limitations to be cleared out of our way, and every goal that we set forth we accomplish with ease and grace? What are the infinite possibilities and beyond? And how does it get any easier than this? So I'd like to thank you all today for being on the show.
Appreciate you having us.
And thank you for being an example of a dynamic military couple. So military from all around the world can watch this episode and learn some simple techniques on how to clear their energy, feel better, feel awesome, and awaken to our greatest potentiality and our greatest gifts. Thank you all so much. And this is Alicia McMichael, wishing you all a beautiful day. Aloha.